Tom Wenzel was a Mount Vernon police officer. My first interaction with him was I was pinned to the parking lot of Safeway in Mount Vernon because I was being accused of stealing some food from Safeway. He arrested me that day. Fast forward a couple weeks later, he arrests Danielle. So we did not have good interactions with Tom at all. And after we got clean and sober, I was doing some out-of-custody work crew jail alternatives. So instead of spending time in jail, I was working for the city of Mount Vernon on this work crew. And Tom decided to retire from becoming a police officer and took over that work crew. And then I remember walking to work crew his first day and just praying incessantly, like, God, just help me get through this. And when he opened up the door, he didn't even recognize me because I was clean and I was sober, and we sat down and we started having a conversation, and I told him about my journey. And then he made me the lead of that work crew, and about 2 weeks in, he goes, this is a jail sentence and I have the ability to give you good time. How'd you like tomorrow to be your last day? And I'm like, I would love that. He's like, cool, man, tomorrow's your last day. You don't have to come back.
And so then we just kind of kept staying in touch. Kevin at that point was really strong in his faith, and he talked to me about God a lot, and I said, yeah, Kevin, okay. And it was always a really neat relationship with him on that, because he never shoved it down my throat. He just kept saying, God is good, and good things are happening. That's God. Yeah, Kevin, I've kind of always done the right thing, and I kind of believe in karma. That was my go-to.
When we were getting ready to do the public information meeting for the homeless shelter, I called Tom and I was like, I'm going and doing this by myself in front of all these angry people, and I could use some support. And he came. And then he started coming to the church. Then he did a sermon with me on forgiveness and reconciliation. And then he met a girl. And then that girl started tilling the soil and watering the seeds of Jesus that I had planted. And after us just loosely staying in conversation, he asked to take me out to breakfast one day, and I said sure, and went and met him for breakfast. And he was telling me all about how he's going to marry this girl that he'd met. And he goes, but I've decided to give my life over to Jesus, and I want to get baptized the day before my wedding, and I want you to baptize me.
And all of a sudden everything just fell into place for me. From Kevin having originally planted the seed, to my wife cultivating it and making it real. So there I was. Guess what? God's real. Who'd have thunk it? 60 years, almost to the day, and all of a sudden, it's real.
It was a beautiful day on the river. And Danielle and I had learned our lessons from a previous baptism that we needed to have him sit down first before we dunked him. We learned that the hard way.
My cousin is a tall drink of water.
Yeah, but we baptized him that day, and he just came up out of the water sobbing. It was amazing.
Yeah. And all I remember from that was Kevin talking to me, and he lowered me into the water, and there was just absolute peace and calm. And then I felt him trying to pull me back up, and I was like, I'm not ready yet. I'm liking this. Just now they jerked me out of the water. And so to think back from 15 years ago, whatever it was, middle of the night in a parking lot with two people strung out on drugs, living in a truck, and me arresting them, to them probably being my best friends. It's just absolutely amazing. It's come full circle like that.
Like, that's been the whole journey for us, is God repairing and restoring all of the broken relationships and all the broken pieces of us. And I mean, it's still a process, but that was just one more evidence of his power in our story. Nobody is beyond resurrection.